All right, these guys complained that they wanted to ask a question, but
They complained.
They did, because, well, can we ask a question?
Yeah.
Now, how about collectively we come up with one good question for Kevin, okay? So time one, just one, and that's it. All right. Danettes are getting together here.
Do you use that set at all?
The cooking set?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Do you?
Yeah, well, people come in.
Yeah.
But the other man cave, that's up in Connecticut. That has all the toys, the golf simulator and the basketball hoop, that kind of stuff.
I know what you mean about Sports Center. I know what you're saying. It's not that you're not as good, but there was something heightened.
Yeah.
There was something heightened.
And it was dangerous back then. They didn't want us doing what we were doing. Like, you were trying to fight to have Bull Durham produced. And then, so that's part of it that made it great, is you're fighting hard for it instead of somebody saying, we're going to come on in. Here's your sequel here. All right, you got your one question for Kevin Costner. Seton?
Since you have a foot in each, is it tougher to act like an athlete or tougher to act like a musician? And which do you sort of judge more harshly when you're watching?
Well, a lot of people think, Olivia maybe was our greatest actor. And there's one role he couldn't pull off, and that's baseball or football. You know immediately. You cannot outact it. You look, and if somebody coached in your life, please don't be dismissive of somebody. You go, okay, I'm going to try to have more things. But in sports, you just go, no.
Right away.
No. You just go, no, what I think is interesting about sports music is even the non-athlete knows that And the great thing in singing, is that you don't have to be a great singer to know a great one. You can just tell. And there's music. I remember I had to talk with John Barry when he's making a score of Dances with Wolves. I didn't know where he was at in his career at that point. He was could be a very volatile guy, and he'd been out of the business for a couple of years for whatever reason. So I'm like a mongoose playing with a cobra, right? So he brings me the 5. It was like all the money in the world, and I didn't have very much, and he was going to write some music, and he goes, I'd like to have a piano up in my room. And I thought, what is that going to cost? You mean a piano in your room, like in a hotel room? He goes, yes. And I said, oh, well, can I listen? No, I don't play in front of anyone.
Oh boy.
I go, all right, that's okay. So he did, and then when he brought it, he actually had a cassette tape of like six pieces that he thought he could craft into the movie. And I was with my friend Jim Wilson, and we were still thinking about the bill in the hotel. And he comes, and I liked about 4 of them, and there was 2 of them I just didn't see how they were going to fit. And I didn't realize he was a guy that was like unedited on anything. And I just said, and it's these other 2, and he's like, look at me, and there must have smoke coming out of it. But he just kept looking at me, going, And, the reality, though, is he could make the music. But really, as a novice or whatever you will, I had to judge it, because it's you don't have to take a step back from understanding what's good. You may not be able to do it, and sports is that way. We know who can play, we see who can play, and it's the same way with music.
It's great to see you. I'm glad you stopped in. Hope you enjoyed. I know that we sometimes touch on the same topics, but we're fascinated with those topics. But
no, we make a good circle. I like I like coming here, and one thing I like about coming here is there's no pre-interview. We just let it fly, and it started off on my Pumas. And I'm thinking it's just better to shoot the like that. It's just so much easier. It actually makes the room more authentic. And you've always, you guys have. I can't believe he kind of cut you guys up to one question.
Yeah, we take great pride in not preparing.
Yeah,
just one.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, if it's a continual recess, that's what I was looking for out of school.
Sometimes I bring the belt out though, Kevin.
Yeah.
With these guys. Sometimes
you can hear it.
Yes, I can.
You're not hurt yet.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.